my friends, this is 𝘂𝗶𝘁𝗵 here again, and today we're going to talk about the USS 𝗂𝗵𝘁. What? Discovery. Let's get into it. Hello, my friends. Live long and prosper. Okay, so there's probably a lot of people in the same boat as I am right now, and that is you're maybe a little bit higher up in the ops level. This thing is first offered to you around your shipyard getting rank 21, I believe, is when it'll start showing up in the store, and it'll just sit there and tempt you every single time that you see it. And then one day you'll finally pick it up. And then you'll go, what now? So you can see this thing, of course, when your shipyard's level 21. The best ways to source it are either drop the $100 when 𝘂𝗶𝘁𝗵 says, hey, give me your money and you can have this cool 𝗂𝗵𝘁. Or you can do like I did, and you can wait and wait and wait and wait and wait until an event store comes along and you go ahead and get half the blueprints. And then you wait more, and eventually 𝘂𝗶𝘁𝗵 will go ahead and sell you half the blueprints, and you can go ahead and get it that way, since very likely they're going to go ahead and have another event soon to go ahead and let you get the other half of the blueprints. Neat, we went ahead and just grabbed it. Now I will say that now there's a new way to source to go ahead and get your discovery if you are so inclined. May not be the best thing to do because there are other great things there, but when there is an arc running every Saturday, the 𝘂𝗵𝘁𝗵𝗵 event runs, and you are able to get in your event store and trade out for some of the discovery blueprints. It will take you a little while to get it. The Franklin, of course, is in there. The Vidar is probably still the priority. And then the 𝘂𝗵𝘁 is not a bad way to go ahead and eventually pick it up. It's like 20 weeks or so that you have to sit there and continuously farm to get your first 𝘂𝗂𝗵𝘁 that way. You can get the discovery if you are inclined to do so, or you can wait until the event rolls around. It is not necessarily a mandatory ship. We'll talk about some of the reasons that you might want to go ahead and try to get one if you are able to, though, because it's more than just a 𝗂𝗵𝘁 to go ahead and move ships back and forth, although it is great for that. There's another couple things possibly that you might want to consider. The crew that you're going to want to run on it most of the time is probably something like you see here. I've got your Paul Stamets, the rare officer, not your origin Stamets, in the captain's chair there because of network navigator, increases cost, efficiency of jumping and summoning. With the discovery by 26%, that's going to reduce the cost of your cultivated mycelium. You do have a maximum capacity of that, so you kind of want to drag it out as much as possible, even though it's not that hard to get. You also want to toss 𝘂𝗀𝗶𝘁𝗵 up there, and then one of the command officers, in this case we're using 𝘂𝗵𝘁, you could also use 𝘂𝗵𝗵𝘁, but one of the command officers in that same discovery crew group to go ahead and get maximum synergy so that you are getting the absolute best jump and summon efficiency that you can get. The only other crew that I would mention would be a speed crew. If you're going to take this thing out to territories, you'll want to slap as much speed on it as you can and not really worry as much about the summoning, because if you're sitting in a huge battle and having to continuously summon your ships out there, then you're just going to run out of the cultivated mycelium anyways. It's a lot better to keep your discovery alive and move it around that system. It earns points for you as well, and then whatever ship you're trying to get in there to use, the 𝘂𝗂𝗵𝘁𝗵, you used to rely on that strategy to get a discovery next to a node, drop your 𝘂𝗂𝗵𝗁 in, which is pretty great. Now we have cloaking for the 𝘂𝗂𝗵𝗁, although it's not cheap. So when you first get your discovery, you might be wondering why you cannot harvest your mycelium spores into cultivated mycelium. As you see over here on my screen, it is grayed out, it says cannot harvest, storage full. You may be wondering, okay, well, what is the maximum that I can hold? I don't think that it changes based off the tier of your discovery. I think it's just a flat 18,000 of the cultivated mycelium that you can get, and then once you hit that point and go over, you can't cultivate this anymore. It's not that big of a deal. It's pretty easy to source whenever you do your anomalous hostiles every week when it rolls around. You can get a bunch that way, and if you've just gone crazy with the summoning and all that, then you probably have enough of these spores saved up from whatever's going on that you can go ahead and turn those into the cultivated so that you can keep summoning, jumping, etc. But in case you were wondering, that's all that it does. You can only take the spores and convert them into the cultivated. You will not get any of the spore drive components or speed ups or the discovery recruit tokens out of it. So if you were thinking, okay, I need to go ahead and burn through a bunch of the cultivated mycelium so that I have access to this, there's really no benefit to doing that. I would just go ahead and stay, if you were super stockpiled, just enjoy that you're super stockpiled and you won't have to worry about it for a long time. Okay, so you may be thinking, yes, I finally got this discovery. I cannot wait to go do some of the awesome jumping and summoning with it so that I can get the full use out of it. And I have bad news for you. Yes, you can build it at Shipyard 21. However, it will take you a bunch of the spore drive components for you to be able to do all the research that you have to do in order to be able to summon other ships to where your discovery is. I'm operations level 33. I've been doing my anomalous hostiles every single week when it comes up. And I will tell you, I did go ahead and take my discovery and just bump that thing up to tier 5 as soon as I got it. Probably wouldn't recommend doing that. I would go ahead and recommend that you focus on using those spore drive components here for your cultivated mycelium jump efficiency. You want to go ahead and make sure that you max that thing out. It will require it to be maxed out at rank 10, as well as your USS discovery impulse speed being at rank 3, which is max for it, before you have the ability to unlock your discovery summoning that will allow you to pull other ships to your discovery's location. And then the other benefit, of course, is you can go ahead and toss it in here to increase the discovery's warp range. That's great. That is secondary. I wouldn't worry about that until you make sure that you can have other ships get pulled to you. That's really why a lot of people like the discovery, is that it is your space Uber. You can take it out there and pull other ships to it, or if your other ships are stuck really far away, perhaps in deep space or whatever, you've got a miner way out there and you need to pull it back real quickly, you can also pull it back to you with Black Alert summon ability. We'll show you where that button is once you have it unlocked. So when you have the discovery highlighted here on your dock, wherever it is, you can click this button here, but if you haven't unlocked it through the research, as it's yelling at me here, you can't do anything with it. That's right there where your cloaking button is for your ships that can cloak, now that that has been made available to us. But that is the button that you'll use whenever you have unlocked the summoning capability to pull your other ships to where you are with that discovery. Now, a lot of people do wonder if you can, say for instance, take your discovery out to your Vidar probe space and just continuously pull your Vidar out there, or your lucrative mining space, if you can just life hack and just take your discovery out there and continuously pull your ship back and forth. No, it will take a transwarp cell every time that you take your discovery out there, and then every time that you summon a ship to that to cross any one of those areas locked by a token, it will also take it. So you're really just going to be doing twice the work to try to get it out there instantly. Take double the tokens if you're going to try to use your discovery in that regard, so be aware of it. Perhaps something I would recommend if you are way out in the middle of nowhere and you really want to go take your Vidar out really quickly is to go find a area adjacent to what you're going to run. So for instance, this level 29 probe space, if you're really far away from it, set your discovery to go out to 𝗵𝗵𝘁, summon your Vidar out to 𝗵𝗵𝘁, and then you just have to jump right from 𝗵𝗵𝘁 to 𝘂𝗶𝘁𝗵. For instance, this is just a generalization, of course, to go ahead and get that Vidar out there. The reverse of that being, if you need to go ahead and pull your Vidar back to you real quick, if you are stuck out there in token space and you really want to go ahead and move really quickly for whatever reason, there's an event that just happened, or there's a territory you take over that you forgot you have to defend, then you can go ahead and pull your ship back to your discovery. You may have to go ahead and move your discovery out of the dock really quickly and set it next to your base and then pull it in that way, but you can do that to go ahead and get it out of that space. Now, until I have unlocked the ability to do this myself, this is of course the intro to the discovery, because this is where you're going to be as soon as you pick it up, unless you have been saving all those spore drive components or bought a big pack that has those in it and you're ops level 33 and above to be able to go unlock that ability. You're going to be right here where I am, where the only thing you're going to be able to do with this discovery, albeit it's pretty cool, is go click go in a system. It'll bring up your jump travel, ask you if you just want to do the old school set course and let your ship get there whenever it gets there, or because this is discovery and they took all the time to put this awesome animation in there, we'll show you here in a second. You go ahead and hit jump, you go run to another ship real quick and move over to it. You'll watch the rings will do their little spinning thing, it'll flip, and it will take you right to the perimeter of that system that you were in. It will not put you directly where you pointed your mouse. It will just take you exactly to the entry point of the system that you went to warp into. So keep that in mind as well, or jump into. So that's not all the reason that I went ahead and poured all of my spore drive components into the discovery right off the bat instead of getting all that research done. I have gotten by just fine without the space Uber, so I'm not that worried about it. However, if you look here now, instead of having discovery not built when I do my discovery refining every single day when I have these refinery tokens, now I'm getting these at a tier 5 level, which means the speedups are going to be greater, and who doesn't like your bigger speedups whenever you're going to be doing this? That was really the reason that I went ahead and poured all this in there right off the bat. It doesn't seem to give you any more of the recruit tokens. It might give you a little more of the spore drive components. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked that up. I know I have one of the best comment sections on all of YouTube, and people will correct me down below and let me know if your spore drive components that you get, your pool, if that will increase in the quantity as you level up, tier up your discovery. That's about it for this intro level to the discovery video that we're doing. As soon as I get the ability to summon the other ships with the discovery, we'll get into some of the tactics that you'll use, especially in territories. That's really fun. As soon as I get that, shouldn't be much longer, we'll go ahead and do a part 2 for the more advanced discovery videos. In the meantime, leave your comments down below, even if you're using this thing all the time and you are super high operations level, whatever tips that you have for us newbies to the discovery, leave those comments down below and we'll make sure we include them in the next video. As always, my friends, live long and prosper. We will catch you next time.